Check, check. All right. Syllabus. Goofing off already. All right. I'm this one up, and then we'll move along to another one. I'm using a lot of this Platinum Preppy 02 available on Amazon. I want to say they're about $6, something like that. I got platinum carbon cartridges going on. So far, so good. Good little pen. Pretty sure this guy drew this at 11 by 17. So I'm just kind of having to nail the tiny little facial details as best I can. Mm. Hey, Melvin, how you doing, man? Thanks for joining in. You just kind of noodle around on this thing, seeing spots where I can do stuff. Hmm. I'm doing okay, man. I mean, I guess overall, we're dealing with a recent death in the family here and gearing up for a move. So it's difficult, but nobody wants to hear about all that. Oh, thanks, Melvin. I appreciate it. You know how it is, though. You gotta keep moving. Life goes on. It's trying to unscrew on me. Blown away, pun intended, by the texture creating there. Thank you. Appreciate that. I'm really just playing with this fountain pen, to be honest with you. I'm just like, okay. Well, and I'm familiar with my time with the 102, the Hunt 102 Crow back in the day. That it's the same thing. It doesn't have as much flex to it as that did, but this brush is the same idea, except you don't have to dip. Stuff where I can get away with a little more of a hand done, less mechanical sort of look. I usually try to. Yeah, I like this fountain pen. I gotta say, remarkably cheap as fountain pens go. When you start pricing around and looking at fountain pens, I'm like, oh my gosh. Some of those things are priced their weight in gold. But this one was one of the better reviewed ones. It was like less than $10. So fits with the cartridges I had around and everything else. So I'm like, cool. I'll find something to do with it. No such thing as a bad tool. You're just not using the right thing. Really, what I'm looking for at this stage is to just try to soften the transitions a little bit. And I've found that you can get away with a lot as long as you keep most of your cross hatching pointing at your subject. Draw the acrobats. Oh shit. Hey Rob, what's up? See, if my stream were monetized, and you could probably like get me to do that. Somebody pledging enough, super chats, all that stuff. I'd have to go reference it and stuff. Acrobats. I love that though. That's just so absurd. I love it. Once again, Liefeld proves he's got those concepts. He can pull that thing out of his sleeve. It's got a little charm to it. Like it or not, can't deny it. Hey, I was ready to go work for him at one point before Jim called. I even have old drawings of Youngblood. That's how serious that was at one point. Because back then I had delusions of adequacy as a penciler as well, and dared try a couple times. Hey, thanks for stopping by, Rob. Very cool. Have a good day. Mm, I think I've done. No, still got this gun to do. but I'm nearing the finish here. Okay, this fountain pen is not the right tool for this job. We're gonna move to the Tombow hardtip. Yeah, all of a sudden I'm like, hey, paper. I remember inking on paper. It's kind of cool. You have this little artifact when you're done instead of a digital file. I find for me that artwork has physical artwork almost has a memory sometimes. When I see a piece that I've worked on, I'll remember what was going on in my life at that time. Sometimes, not every time. Almost like a photograph. Okay, is there anything else going on here that I need to hit? A little bit up on this gun butt up here. And of course, I don't have my ruler. Oh well. I don't recommend this for beginners. Kids, don't try that at home. But I've done this a few times. I can find ways to usually get over this stuff, even when I can't see real damn well. All right. All right. I'm gonna put this one down. Pardon me, just a minute. I'm gonna swallow in everybody's ear. Yeah, I think we're gonna put that one aside for the minute. I'm gonna work on something else. Same guy, R.D. Brown, Riley. Oh shoot! I'm gonna screw up his Instagram handle again. Hang on just a minute. Bear with me. Riley Comic Art, all one word. The artist's name is R.D. Brown. Anybody that's interested in this stuff should probably go take a look at his site. I think it's pretty good. I like what he does. Mm. Okay. I'm gonna go with the Tombow soft tip, the Food Nosaki. It gives me a little more bounce on the Food Nosaki. It gives me a little more bounce on the line without sacrificing too much in control. Like a brush might. And as is my habit, I'm going to nail down these outside contours first. Just to establish depth and lighting. And you get used to doing that when you're working panel to panel too, because you want everything to pop away from everything else. So you got to make sure that you use certain line weights to make sure that happens, or you're really just sort of at the mercy of the colorist and whatever they decide to do. And that's usually not preferable for anybody. Penciler, inker, colorist, etc. Those guys would rather have a little more information most of the time. They don't want you unhappy. Just like inkers. Oh, I'm not trying to wreck your stuff, man. I promise. I just had an off day, or I didn't understand what you were trying to get at, or whatever. Haven't had any trouble like that in a while, fortunately. Hmm. Hmm. This guy draws real well. I'm just trying to be real sensitive to what he puts down. Is this on Eon paper? No. No, not on Eon paper this time. It's just on. It's just cardstock. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. Maybe it's Eon paper. Doppel's tip. I don't know. I try to use tools that where it's not going to make a difference. As long as the paper doesn't bleed, it should be good to go. And that's the first thing you check for. And then if that doesn't meet that test, it gets rejected right away. No, I'm saving the rest of my Eon boards. Um, to have a project in development, and saving it for that. If I can get my hands on a good old fashioned drawing table, I might break out the old 102s, do some Croquill stuff. Because I think that Eon paper is going to handle whatever I can dish out real well. I've also got some Strathmore series 300. It should be pretty good. I don't know how well it'll take Quill, but probably not as well as Eon boards. Getting ready to draw invincible. Now you've got an inferiority complex. Nah, you'll be fine. You draw real well, man. I've been fortunate enough to meet a lot of independent artists. You know, there's more talent out there than ever. Throw a rock, you hit somebody that can do this. Throw another rock, you'll hit somebody that wants to. I really wish I'd had the access to the resources available that kids have now for this sort of stuff. There's all kinds of information out there, tutorials and advice. Back in the day, we were lucky to figure out what brush somebody was using or what pen or whatever. And then you'd try it and you'd have no idea what to do with it. Well, I should say, I didn't have any idea what to do with it. I don't want to speak for everybody. Maybe some people, like Scott Williams or somebody, picked it up and was just magic the first time they touched it. I don't know. Scott would tell you that there are bad jobs out there. I've never seen one. Hmm. Acrobats. I'm still laughing about that. Ooh, I am loving this fountain pen. Highly recommended. It is the Platinum Preppy fountain pen, the 02. And I am using platinum carbon ink for the cartridge in it. No, it's not the wheel. It won't do everything for you. It doesn't have a lot of flex. But man, it gives a nice, tight, clear line. I'm going to do that. I don't know if he'll dig that or not, but I was brought up in the age of finishers. So I've always thought of Klaus Janson or somebody like that. And they always used to talk about your line is the finish line. It's not the pencils that get printed, it's the inks. And sometimes the things that pencils will do look great in pencil, but don't translate to ink, or they'll do the thing where they put X's down for their black areas sometimes, and not think about one black area right up against another black area and how you're losing depth by doing that. I was fortunate enough early on to get a lot of really good inking advice, sometimes from sources that you might not expect. Early on, we were sharing studio space with Top Cow, and I got the opportunity to pick Mark Sylvester's brain a little bit. He gave me some valuable advice that I still think about when I ink. All the inkers out there are like, "What are you gonna say? Gonna say?" Maybe, I don't know. At some point, have your credit card ready. Operators are standing by. Okay, where is that sucker? There we go. This is a pit pen, the brush tip. Great tool for just sort of blocking in blacks if you need to. Or giving you a pen line that looks like a brush. Looks a lot like a brush. Not as much bounce to it as you might like sometimes. It's just sort of good for the same sorts of things you use a brush for. Just a smidge more control to it. And it makes you commit to your solid black areas. When you come in and do stuff like this. Noticed earlier on the Punish piece that the inks, they're not quite the same quality of black. Is that Bob Anchor? Um, it used to. It used to. Now I don't care. It is what it is. You know, I mean, once upon a time, I see some people get really good results out of a glossy ink. I don't care for it. There's way too much sheen that comes off of it once it's dry. Now, I mean, I see people like I've seen Alex Garner and Sandra Hope use it, and it just looks gorgeous. But if the light hits it, or you try and photograph it, I believe in like scanning glossy ink like that. So I just try to get something that's going to lay down flat, black. I really don't pay as much attention to it anymore now that I'm the one that's in control of the scan. I don't have to worry about it. I'm the one that adjusts it, and that's how it gets turned in. I'm the one that's in control of the scan, and it's all even at the end and everything else. So, and I think with the original art, honestly, that's some of the appeal. If people are just, you're just gonna look at it and the ink is all even and everything else. Well, then you may as well just buy a print, right? Part of the appeal of it is, like you look at a Mike Mignola original, and he's damn near doing watercolor paintings in ink, you know, sometimes, and went on to go explore watercolor. So really not surprising in that regard that he thinks that way. I don't know. I think that's part of the uh, when artwork looks too perfect. Like, I don't even like to get it when it's like an artist's edition and it looks too perfect. The only one that I have that's like that is that's really like that is the X-Men artist edition with Terry Austin doing the inking. Um, that looks pretty perfect, but um, well, and the Jim Lee one does too. But I really don't enjoy work that's so pristine like that. I'd way rather look at somebody like uh, Jonathan Wayshak or yeah, absolutely. The artist edition books, you want to be able to see the Sharpie marks. You want to be able to see the whiteout. You want to be able to see the spot where the patch paper has been applied, or like where Neil Adams has just come in and completely whited out a face and re-inked the whole damn thing from scratch. You know, I love that stuff because yeah, otherwise you may as well just buy a print. Part of the charm of the original for sure. Yeah, it used to bug me back in the day. I would see Alex or Saunders pieces, and it just had that perfect sheen, that gloss to it. And both of those inkers are just so, excuse my French, fucking clean. Holy shit. I don't know any tighter inkers than Alex Garner. Sorry. I've never met anybody that's quite like that guy when it comes to the quill. And the brush. He went on to master the brush as well. And then, like, when he was done, just tipped his hat and decided to go paint. Go digitally paint. I'm like, oh, all right, well, right on. Take both jobs then. Take all the damn glory. See how I feel, you know. See if anybody cares. Go ahead. He's an awesome painter, too. But yeah, I used to look at that stuff early on and want my stuff to look perfect like that, too. But then like I said, I just saw the charm more so in, like, well, there's something to this, too. It's like a surprise you don't get to see in print. But yeah, I'd much rather at this point check out work by like Sam Keith, Jonathan Wayshak, Kelly Jones is doing some really exciting stuff. Jeez, guy's like been in this for a long time and just has not lost a step at all. He is the heir apparent to Terry Austin. I mean, to Bernie Wrightson, rather. I guess even Wrightson thought so. Because he asked him to complete his last work when he died. And Jones did. And I think that he did a good job. Can't think of anybody else that would have dared step into those shoes. I wouldn't even try. Like, hell no. I don't want to ink Bernie Wrightson. It's just an opportunity to look bad. Why would I do that? People who know me are like, oh, he's not going to get his magnifying glass. No. I used to do that. I had a magnifying lamp. And then I would, like, for the faces and the hands, I would come in and do all the rendering under that magnifying lamp. Now I just use digital. Zoom in as close as you want, man. Kelly Jones, Dead Man. Yeah. I thought about buying that. They have a gallery edition in for sale, and there's a guy on eBay that's letting them go cheap, like $40. And I thought about buying them, but I'm like, and the Batman one too by Kelly Jones and Beatty, and I was like, man, I already own too many of these 10 pound, you know, half a door size book. I'd love to own them all, but storage is a real issue when it comes to those after a minute. I like to ride the line between the style that's just clean enough to keep it nice and sharp, but I want it to have a little bit of a human feel too. I don't want it to be so perfect that it gets cold. I want some blood flowing in it, I guess. If I had to make a criticism of Terry Austin, it would be the same one that he makes of himself. You talk to him as he feels his work is kind of cold and stiff and lacks some life to it. And I think that's because he inks everything with a pen. There's just a stiffness to the line that's hard to get out of it. That you can't. Like that's all you can do with it. And I was a pen guy for a long time. I wanted to be Terry Austin, like like everybody else. And then after a time, I just went, been trying to do this for a minute. I'm still doing it badly. Just take what I can take from it and move along, and not try to clone the guy after all because it's, excuse me again, fucking hard. Hard to clone Terry Austin. Never seen anybody do it yet. Couple guys are close. Tim Townsend, Alex Garner spring to mind. Like I've seen it done, but yeah, it's not easy. It's not quick either. I don't know how those guys do with their deadlines, but when I tried to do it, it was like, holy shit. Slow enough as it is. Trying to do it this way. So I kind of had to learn to use the brush. And not everybody's style is conducive to the pen. Case in point, like much praise as I'll sing of Terry Austin's work, I really do not feel at all like he meshed with the likes of John Buscema. It's just way too organic of a style to take a pen after it. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't awful. Professional work. But it did not have the magic of, say, someone like Dave Zuniga or Rudy Nebres or, Bob McLeod. Bob McLeod. That guy's a good inker, too. Okay. Lee Weeks. Lee Weeks is awesome. I do see mostly Lee Weeks inking himself, or the other guy that's inked him on a few projects is my friend Stefano Gaudiano, who used to ink the Walking Dead comic. Like when they finished out the run, he was his inks. He inked several issues of that thing. I don't even know how many. He was on it for a long time. Very different style from what I do. His is more of a brush look, but for what he's trying to do, very appropriate. So, like I was saying before, not everything looks good with this, with the same kind of line. Yeah, Lee Weeks, awesome. There's a few things of his. The thing I remember the most is he did this Marvel magazine of the Destroyer, the book series character. Um, what was the name of that? Oh, Remo Williams was the movie they did after it. Um, and that's the name of the character from the series, the Destroyer. Uh, but he did a special of that where he penciled and inked that himself early on in his career that I just loved. On page through that thing, so he was drawn like Joe Kubert. Everybody's probably like, give us a closer look. Let us take a look. That's where we're going. Yeah, Lee did the artwork on that. Yeah, the Destroyer issue. Some Marvel Super Special. Would come out like late 80s or something like that. I still got it hanging around in a box here someplace. I found a binder while I was going through stuff for the move. Oh, geez, I could do a live stream on this damn thing all by itself. Everything from sketches to photocopies, stuff from the studio, stuff I've saved, a photocopy of my the check from my very first professional sale. Got a photocopy of it. My very first professional sale was to Shadowline, to Jim Valentino. He had me try out for a book, and although I didn't end up getting the book, um, since he asked me to do it, he was kind enough to offer me, payment for the time, which was good because at the time I was working day labor and things like this, and really couldn't have afforded the time off. So I inked it, pencils on the tryout for a book called The Pact over Walter McDaniel, I want to say. I didn't get it though, but I don't feel bad because the guy that beat me out for the job was Top Cow's bat, Matt Banning. Matt Banning beat me out for that. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, I don't feel so bad. Pretty good. So I'd have picked him too. All right, now that I've overworked the living shit out of those gloves, let's move on. People ask me sometimes, like, how do you ink faster? And my first response is, why are you asking me? And the second response is, I try to pretend the FedEx guy is on the way. You pretend the FedEx guy's on the way, you'll ink faster. There you go. There's a soft tip. There's something on this thing. You get fuzzies and stuff on your page sometimes. Oh, okay, and I'm switching over to the Funosaki hard tip. Pretty cool time capsule. Yeah, well, I've been around for a while. I want to say I started collecting comics. Oh, I started collecting comics seriously probably 79 or 80, something like that. For me, it was Byrne and Austin, man, all the way. They were the ones to beat. And Frank Miller came along. I'm like, ooh, I like that too. And that is really different from this. So, don't mean to make you feel older, but you were born in 79. Great. Yeah, like I said, quite a long time. That's okay. Fun fact, my wife is about your age. Mm, okay. Well, I reached my limit for streaming today, I think. I might come back later after rest, but I've been at this for a couple hours. But yeah, we'll put this down, pick it up. When I do, I'll turn on the camera. Okay. Thanks everybody for tuning in and joining me. We'll see you guys later.